now we are going to start with Bird of Paradise, which is very common. I'm taking the new canvas size, which is 3500 by 3500 pixels, and the DPI remains the same, and I'm just going to create. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to go to the insert a photo, insert the photo here and put it on multiply, and I'm going to add a new layer beneath it, and I'm going to start coloring. So now we are going to start with the base. So we are taking watercolor 24, and my brush size is 6%. I'm going to start filling in the base first. So I've taken the yellow color from the palette, and so firstly I'm going to do like yellow orange on the top. I'm just going to blend it also using the same brush. So quickly I'm just going to finish this off, and when I'm doing the pointed things part, I'm just a little cautious that the shape is intact. So I think I'm done with the base now. So what I'm going to do is, on the same layer, I'm just going to take like an orange color, which is again, you can pick it up from the palette, and then you can start doing this part. Starting from here, again my brush size remains same, and I'm just coloring like this. So basically what you are doing is, every time you apply like a stroke like this, you need to go to the blend tool and you need to go to watercolor 21 again. You are gonna smudge this off. So again, brush size for the smudging around 8% and opacity around 70, and then you can start smudging like this in this direction, like this. And don't worry, don't try to, whatever dark spots are coming, don't try to change that. After you've done the orange color, maybe you can try to pick a little bit deeper now and try to do more of the strokes, and again blend it. So when you're blending, don't blend too much. You should have these kinds of spots which gives us a watercolor feel. Otherwise, if it is too blended, it is going to look a little bit flat, not like a watercolor effect. So the effect should be intact. So everything I'm doing, it is on the same layer, and we're gonna make things better. I'm not applied a clipping mask. Now I'm just gonna take like a yellow color here. So I'm just gonna take like 12 o'clock here and 12 o'clock here, like a lighter color, and I'm just gonna apply it here. So when I apply it here, it is not that visible. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna add a new layer, and then I'm just gonna apply here. So basically applying it here, and then again smudging it off. So don't smudge too much, the effect should be visible. And now I'm just gonna take again this orange color which I had taken earlier for the top part. So I'm just gonna apply multiple strokes like this, and then smudge it off. And once you're done with this part, you can simply merge these two, because sometimes what happens is, when you're trying to do it on the same layer, the colors are not visible. So that is the problem here. So now again, I'm just gonna keep adding the layers, and then I'm gonna merge it. So now I'm just gonna take like a deep red color, like, or a bright red color, and then I'm gonna do the outlines here and the inner part. So I'm just gonna start with the outline first. So I'm not doing the entire thing, but I'm just gonna do it some like here, and also the corners and the joints here. Something like this, and then adding again few more strokes inside. So when you are adding a last bunch of strokes, you do not have to smudge those, but outline, if you think that it's messy a little bit, you can just blend it a little bit. So when I try to remove it, this is how it's gonna look like. So after doing this part, we simply have to add a little bit of highlight. So we take the white color, and in between the center, I'm just adding few more spots with the same color. So throughout this process, we have just used only one color, and I'm just gonna blend this or merge this. So I hope you understood the process. Let's start with this now. So on the same layer, I'm taking the orange color, and I'm just gonna apply a few strokes at the bottom, and also here, and also on the top. similarly, I'm gonna take like first I'm just gonna smudge this off. So you'll see that we are just taking one by one the color and we are just applying the strokes and blending, especially for the base part. So that's the reason I'm doing it on the same layer. Right, again I'm taking a deeper orange and I'm just going to apply a few more strokes. And then again just going to blend this. Then I'm adding a new layer, taking the deeper red color, and then I'm gonna apply it to the edges here, especially at the bottom and on the top. Just make it a little bit prominent, and also on the left. Similarly, I'm just gonna do it here, and I'm just gonna take like a light white color and just applying the strokes like this, and then I'm just gonna blend it if it is all necessary. So once you have done something like this, you can see how the texture looks like. So this is done like this. Similarly, we are going to do the next part, right? So all of this has to be in different colors. So this part, I'll just mark it over here. So this part and this part needs to be in blue color. So we're going to now start with the blue. So I'm always taking like a lighter color, like a medium color for the base. So I'm taking like a bluish color, which again I'm going to highlight it in the palette. So on the new layer, so everything whatever the top part has, it has it here. Now I'm going to take the blue color, and with the same brush I'm just going to make the base and try to overlap so that it gives us more nice texture. So for the base I'm taking the blue. So once we have something like this, and then we start to blend if it is all necessary. So I'm just going to blend a little bit, and then I'm going to take on the same layer, I'm just going to take like a blue color. So again from the palette you can pick it up, the blue color and dark blue color basically, and I'm just gonna do this part. So basically how we had done it here, similarly the shape is a little bit different though, but I'm just gonna do it on the right and here. So I'm doing from both the branches, I would say, bottom part like this, and after doing this part I'm also adding a little bit of purple. So I'm just adding a little bit of purple on the top, maybe a little bit more light, and then I'm just gonna blend this part, purple in between, something like this here. So here we are, and now I'm just gonna merge it a little bit. Once you're done with this, you can now take the deepest purple color, and with the small size of the brush, also on the here part, wherever there is a joint. So try to add this, something like this, and then of course the highlight. So highlight you can do it in white, and you can even try to do it a little bit with the blue. So once we are done with the blue part, now we are going to start with the green. And I'm gonna unhide the sketch again. Let's do it beneath the orange also and the blue part also. So I'm just gonna add a new layer, and then I'm just gonna put this beneath everything, and I'm just gonna go to green color, like a leaf green color. So maybe I'll just take this at 9 and this at 12, but a little bit inside, and then I'm just gonna start coloring with the same brush, the watercolor 21. So I'm just going to start coloring. So if the area is not that big, so I'm just going to make the brush size a little bit smaller. And for the bigger area, I'm just going to make the brush size around 8-9%. And I'm just going to do this part. And again, you have to apply a little bit of pressure, and then you have to release the pressure. And then what I'm going to do is, similarly, I'm just going to add a new layer above it. I'm just gonna go towards a little bit on a yellow side, so maybe I'm just gonna put this at 10 or 11, and now I'm also adjusting the size around 11%, and again with the same brush I'm just adding a bit of color at the center, and for the outlines, and the edges I'm just gonna take a little bit darker color. So after this I'm just gonna pick up darker green, like maybe 10 o'clock here, so this around 3 but little bit inwards so that it is dark enough. And on the same layer I'm just gonna do the edges how we had done it for the blue and the yellow part. In case you want to add a bit of more depth to or more contrast to this part blue also, you can add it towards the end. But the bird of paradise is ready.